Right, g'day guys. Welcome to the stream for the round 9 team drops. Bit going on. I've literally just sat down. I've seen Parrish is out, as Duke's saying, out with the calf. So that is a big one for, well, obviously if you're looking to bring him in, you're not now, but a few people might have already got him in because he was pretty cheap last week. Suns in 7. Nah, mate. Nugs in 7 probably. Most likely, I think Phoenix might get it done at home again like they did in the first 2 games. Mills or assume it's Brayshaw. We'll speak about that when I'll get to the teams first, but because I'm getting both currently, but that might change depending what happens. I'll answer a few questions because these teams always take ages to drop on the proper website anyway. Luke Parker, no, James. Probably just a bit too old for me. There's got to be other options. Yeah, exactly. Parrish, yeah, that's look. I haven't read much, but George has probably already said somewhere that this is why he was never considering him because he did have calf issues last year. And that's something that can always pop up. So I guess it's unfortunate if you've already got him, but yeah, I think if you've got him, you got to hold, and obviously you're not going for him now. If you were thinking about bringing him in, not bad, Niblo, all good, mate. Bit of carnage, maybe expected soon. We'll see. Panto, how you going? Big 54. Yep, I'll refresh, have a look. And they seem to be up, so we'll see. See how many are up. But for tomorrow, so there's obviously 2 Friday games. Weirdly enough, I think something to do with Mother's Day. They wanted to take a game off there to free it up a bit, but nothing too big here. I guess with this game, the only person that's probably a little bit relevant. I mean, Samson Ryan, lovely for us owners. That Soldo's not back with that foot, so. I mean, I'll just be straight fielding him in the forward line. Mitch Nevitt is one that could be a rookie option this week if you were looking for something else. And of course, I'm not looking at the chat anymore now, but we've got to wait and see on some other selections. But he's already risen in price, played his 3rd and scored a 70 last week. And I guess with Danger out, I mean, Close will be back in a week. You would imagine. Jai Clark's debuting, so he'll be the sub. So is he ahead of? I mean, I don't know fully what's going on with their injuries, of course, because they haven't really told us. So there's Stengel, obviously. Guthrie supposedly could be a bit worse than expected, so I'm not sure how far away he is. And then there's others like Bruin in the team already, and who else was I looking for? Like I guess Simpson, but I don't know. His job security is all that worries me. And then he's playing a bit of a wing role and had like 58 time on ground last week, which is a bit weird. So look, he's there if you like him. I, to be honest, haven't watched much of him play, so I'm not totally across him. I think JD doesn't mind him, so I guess we'll see the rest of the teams and see what happens. Yeah, hopefully Oscar, but highly doubt it. The other Friday night game, what do we got? West Coast, always a few changes there. Nothing too major. And then for Gold Coast, so big ones, Atkins here, who people are looking at. He is named, so he is playing. Sam Flanders omitted it after coming back from injury, and then Ben Long injured. Yeah, look, people ask every week with Constable. Just stop asking. There's no point anymore. He's not coming back into this team unless there's an absolute injury exodus. But yeah, we'll see. Mac Andrew, yeah, so nothing too relevant here. I guess Atkins is the one. So look, I don't love his job security for the long term, and obviously really nice buy. And if he plays through the buys, he'll be super handy. I don't know. I just don't know if he will. And 200k already is a bit steep for someone like him. And then if he's going to become a dead player on your bench, then it would really hurt. So look, George will probably go for him. I think I'm not in love with it, so I'll probably avoid. And then I guess actually Tom Berry, who's still in the team now, we've got to be confident. Can he stay in it because I think there's Nick Holman who hasn't come back in, and Ainsworth is the other one. So those guys, obviously not emergencies, aren't fit, but they could be in the next week or two. And then that's probably Tom Berry's spot sort of gone. Maybe the big, I don't even know how to say it, so I'm not going to try. Maybe he goes out because he just came in before him. But if they're both back, maybe Berry's one to go. So anyway, I'll move past these teams. Nothing too exciting. I did see this actually with McCartan. So supposedly, I could be wrong. It's concussion issues again that he sort of had a few weeks ago, and then he's having some delayed ones. That I could be wrong there, but that obviously for Mills, some people might be slightly worried about that. But Will Gould's actually come into the side, which is good because that's probably a replacement there, and then someone like a Robbie Fox has to play a bit taller, and Aaron Francis named down back. So, look, judging off this, I'm probably still going to go for Mills. I think he's great value. Looks to be playing a bit more in the midfield these days. You know, Errol's been pretty much shafted out to a wing. And then, you know, he's sort of sharing here with it's Warner Mills, Rowbottom, and Parker. So, look, he's up. We know his upside's huge, and at the price, look, I'm sort of, you know, not forced into it, but it's just, you know, to get a cheap player in that has potential to go pretty well. That's something I don't mind. So him and Andy Brayshaw is the other one. So they're the two I'm going for at this stage. We'll bring up my team later, but yeah, I mean, with Andy, you're not worried about role here. You're worried about is his knee, you know, going well. And I guess, you know, the last 2 weeks sort of shown that he's might be past it. But there was a quote from JL that he'll have to continue to manage it. So look, he's building into the season. I think he could have a decent second half, and he went 110 last year, and there's no reason why he can't sort of do that again. So yeah, at his price, I think it's quite nice. And you sort of, with him compared to Mills, you've really got to go Andy this week with his like 50 break even, you know, after the big game last week. Whereas Mills, maybe if you wanted to go Andy first, or had to go one before the other, you go him first because Mills still has a decent break even, but obviously not a bad matchup with Freo, how they're going this year. So yeah, nothing else too major that I'm looking at. I think Fife might be the sub again. Not too sure. All right, the first Saturday game, Northern Port, Cunnington omitted. Okay, for Q Greenwood, so no other real changes here. Drury still named, which is nice. So I mean, we'll see the rest of the teams, but some people think about going him early. Well, a lot actually. When you look at the bloody trade-ins, he's like the most trade-in player. So that's someone I want to leave for next week to give myself a downgrade option next week, and then I'll assess the best downgrade option for this week. But that's good signs, and 102k. I know North half forward role, it's not great, but we sort of take whatever we can get at the moment. And look, he has the last buy, which again isn't great, but we're not sport for choice at the minute, so that's probably someone I'll attack next week, unless there's absolutely nothing this week. And then Port, no changes, so just Rioli suspended, and then I guess whoever the sub was last week, it escapes me, he's into the team, and then someone else here might be sub. So nothing too major there. We'll get through the teams, and then I'll get to some questions. Is there another Saturday Arvo game? No, that's those two. I've done that. Okay, so the Twilight. Geez, a massive lot of changes here. Okay, Fergus Green omitted. I mean, someone that has to go anyway. Scrimshaw omitted is big. This actually might be good for Sicily. I mean, I'm looking at this as a Sicily owner. And then Weddle, of course. So that's actually pretty good with Scrimshaw out and then Blank in to play more of a key post. I think this is really nice. So, Weddle is an option. Mitchell, of course, that's good for all of us who own him. Holding, and then for the poor Sicily owners like me, getting in another tall defender is really nice. Frees him up as sort of that third interceptor role, and probably where he plays his best footy. So Hardwick is in the team. So with CJ back in, my hope here is that Hardwick is playing a bit more, maybe on the wing or forward like he has in the past, because that would be great and give Sis some more kicking. So I guess I can't be any more happy with this as a Sicily owner. Weddle looks all right. I mean, of course, there's still Bramble and Scrimshaw breathing down his neck, so that does worry you a bit, but I'm actually pretty happy with that. I guess mostly because of Sicily. But yeah, that's pretty good. It looks like. I'm just gonna message someone quickly. And then the other team, the D's, nothing really relevant here. It's crazy. McVee's still holding his spot, but I mean, I guess he's linked a bit to Salem, who's still a bit away, but he's played all year, so probably been a pretty decent rookie. Nothing else really. JVR's named, so I mean, I sat down just before I jumped on the stream. I think they're appealing the decision tonight, right? So is that might have been successful. I'm not sure, but he's named anyway. And then, nothing really major here to talk about. A lot of people probably jumping on Clary this week if you've gone without him thus far. And I think that's a good move. He's probably as cheap as he's going to get, so I would definitely go for that. Next teams, we got Zorko back in, and then Answorth omitted, so nothing too major here. I guess just people, or thinking who to hold, maybe McKenna or an Ashcroft. I mean, if you're probably thinking the one you hold's going out next week anyway, maybe you keep Ashcroft because he might have a chance of a bigger game, and I think his average is in the 90s at the Gabba, right? It's been sort of said during the week, so look, McKenna's got the chance to maybe kickstart a little bit more cash gen because he is obviously lower price at 300, whereas Ashcroft obviously has to go really well, but maybe you keep Ashcroft if you think they're both going out of your team the next couple of weeks. I mean, I've already got rid of both of them. Maybe you hold Ashcroft first and just play for points on field. And then here, Parrish, the big one with the calf. So yeah, it's if you own him already, it's tough goings, but you've probably got a hold. I mean, hopefully there's some more words said over the next day, 24 hours or so before the round starts as to what it's looking like lengthwise. Again, I haven't caught up on that, but the calf's always a weird one. That they can linger, they can pop up at any time. It's a really bad injury, soft tissue wise. So, it's tough. Maybe you hold, wait and see if he's back next week and all is well. But merits something. Durable, he's someone I'm really looking at next week after this game to bring into my team if possible. So, I do like Merritt more than Parrish. This sort of just, I guess, confirms that. Setterfield, I guess, might play a bit more midfield this week, but everyone's sort of got rid of him. Get some questions if there's nothing spoiling me here. George said this is the reason he didn't want to pick. Yeah, and to be fair, George didn't pick him, but I guess the line makes it a bit. Well, it does. The ruck line makes it a hell of a lot different, right? English is, I don't know how many points ahead of the next best, whereas in the midfield you've got options to avoid a player like a Parrish or any injury sort of prone player. So, and to be fair, English hasn't done a calf before, as far as I'm aware. He sort of just had that concussion and those issues, and maybe the stuff he's done is a bit overblown. So, he sat out a week in preseason with an adductor. So, calf clearly is something that's popped back up from Parrish a year later. But I think the main reason there, like, it's on the ruck line, English, and it's just so many more points that you can get out of him compared to having someone else. And the other options aren't great. Rowan obviously rolled his ankle on the weekend. My man Shrek's always pretty prone to some injuries, even though he manages to play through them. So I think there's good enough reason to have opted for English anyway. Good for Weddle, and then Atkins. I mean, that's good if you want him. Not for me, but I'd still worry about his job security post this week. Would you trade Warple or Ashcroft first? Okay, we've looked at the. What's this team looking like with? So C-Max got back in, and is named on ball. We've got Butler in nice. He's playing more forward. So, I mean, could Connor Nash is there? I'd probably give Warple a go. I mean, I know Ashcroft has been pretty good at the Gabba, but maybe I'd trade him first. And I think I actually forget Warple's break even because he's out of my side this week. But man, that's tough. I think I'd trade Ashcroft. Anyway, we'll keep going. We'll get these teams done, and then we'll talk some more questions. The Blues and the Dogs, Kemp omitted. Pretty stiff. I thought he's been okay up to this point. Ed Kerno, I mean, is Matt Kennedy in? He is. Okay, I was going to say, I guess because he's a sub, you don't see that. So he's in, named a half back. And we've got Doc named on ball. So Chincotta's still in. Interesting. So I guess I brought in a couple of, I guess, who's going to play half back here? Obviously Doc a bit. And then on the bench, they don't own Chincotta. So, I mean, they've got a weird team, Carlton, where they've got probably too many players that can play similar positions, but they brought Owies back in as that small forward. So Ed's made way. Might be sub, yeah. Look, I'm an owner of Walshy. I hope he keeps playing just enough forward time to get it, and then obviously still mostly mid. But yeah, if he gets DPP, that'll be one that everyone needs to look at. Dogs with Trelaw injured and James O'Donnell. I mean, I have never heard of his name, but supposedly I think he's playing. Is it key defense? If I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm wrong. Could be completely wrong on that. What is he? Yeah, I think he is a defender. So 102k. Interesting. Could he be our saviour during the buys? We'll wait and see. Move on. There's nothing too the big deal I've missed, I don't think. So we'll leave that for now. Get through these Sunday teams who, to be fair, aren't fully finished, because obviously we find that out tomorrow. Any outs? No, really. I did see someone say Tommy Campbell named, but that's obviously not confirmed, mate. So, he might be named in an emergency just for backup. I think Ryan will be fine. Just a little turned ankle, so we'll wait and see on that tomorrow. If Campbell's in the final team, but to be fair, I don't think he will be. And there's nothing really major here. I guess Big Cammer is actually named on the field, which is nice. He might be straight back in the team. With I did see Max King isn't back already yet, so good for Cammer. Hopefully, can keep his spot in the side. Who else we got? Nothing here that I can see that's worth talking about. We'll move on. Any outs? Billy Frampton. Nothing major. I mean, who the hell's going to have to ruck here if don't think DC's back. So yeah, wow. They're gone from like basically no rucks to absolutely none now. Like, is it going to have to be just Ash? Who else is named here? Aiden Beggs there, so maybe he gets a game. That's interesting. And then for the Giants, I think people were keen to maybe see a Fahey, but he hasn't even made the squad. So Angwin's past fit, I guess. I mean, I think he'll probably still get tomorrow to prove that and see if he's in the final team, but he is named on field for now. And then nothing else really here. I guess Fleeton is probably rookie priced since he hasn't played a game. I haven't checked that. And that's it, I believe. I don't think there's anything else. That was the last game. So we'll get my team up, and then we'll get to maybe some questions. Sorry if it's been discussed. Shields from North might be a good option with Cunnington out. I can't see that at all, to be honest. 350. Yeah, wouldn't be looking his way, mate. I think he had a couple of decent games. Has he been playing a bit more in the actual midfield? This is me looking at Tom Berry's heat map. Yeah, look, before I even say, I'm going to say no to Shields, but I think he has been playing a bit more in the midfield. Do you trust someone who's 30? I think he is 30. Probably not for me. At 3, like if he was 250, maybe I'd speak about it, but 350 already, you're sort of picking him. Not as a keeper, but he's going to have to go pretty well to be worth it. Yeah, camo on field, beautiful. Mason Cox. Sorry, I did forget about him. He was back last week, wasn't he? So yeah, him and Johnson. Maxi Holmes. I mean, it's probably too late to think about him now. He's ended up being probably one of the best of those sort of 350-ish midfielders to start the year. He's been very consistent. Has played quite well. It's not someone you look at now at 488 as a mid-only, mate. So let that one pass. We've missed it, but it was obviously a really good starting pick. I can't believe Teagle is named as my R3. Like he plays. Oh, interesting. I didn't take note of that. Tuchel. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it's only a matter of time before they just go to the Finlayson and Dixon sort of setup. But I mean, if you've got him, mate, well done, and hopefully make some cash for you. Jack Steele. Well, for me, I'm going the Mills and Brayshaw route. That's the way I've seen it. I haven't loved what I've seen from Steele. I still think he's going to be an okay and decent option, but not one I'm going myself. I'm a bit worried about his shoulder and all that, and I just do like a bit of upside with Mills, and then Brayshaw at his price. He's sort of he's a 600k player for a reason. He did 110 plus last year. I know Steele's done it in the past himself, but he's just probably the one I like the least out of those three for whatever reason. Luke Ryan season, no mate. Look, fair play if you've got him. I'm not getting him at his price now, but he's been quite good. And to be fair, in fantasy terms, not so much football, but he does kick it a lot and take quite a few marks. So he's been a good pick this year for sure. What have we got here? A bit of a 2 trade setup. Warple, Atkins, Jimby for Weddle, JBR. Oh, hold on. So you're getting Weddle, Drury, Mills, or Weddle, Merritt, Atkins. I think just with this, decide what premium do you want first and foremost. So Merritt, Mills, that's probably the decision you make first before you worry about, am I getting an Atkins? Am I getting Drury? I would try to leave Drury till next week. So in that sense, I guess I'm saying the left where you're getting Atkins, even though I don't totally love him. So I guess you're boosting here. So you do need a second rookie to go. If that's the case, mate, I'd probably just go Atkins if you do like him and leave Drury till next week, so you have an option to go next week. Because it doesn't really look, as far as I can read it, like there is any besides him. So that's the way I'd probably read about it. And then I guess you can decide on the left side whether you go Merritt or Mills. Anyway, like you might go Mills there still, and then go Merritt next week. We'll get to those in a sec. I'll answer a few questions. Look, you're not an idiot, but he's probably more of a draft pick. Look, he's probably he has made his cash. Like he's made 135k already, mate, and that's just something that, like, I'm not picking McPherson up at 440. He's sort of done his job if you started him, and he's looking quite good, but it's not someone you're thinking about bringing in now. I think it's okay, but you want to look at what you're doing next week, right? If you need a downgrade option next week, who is it? Because as far as I'm aware, there's no one here. So I think you've got to go. You want to try and leave Drury till next week. Weddle's been named. Obviously, it's not. It could. Oh, here he is. He's decided.
What's happening?
I'm getting sick of talking to myself, so thank you.
That's right.
Okay, answer this question. What do you see with Weddle with the team, George? I'll bring it back up because he is named. CJ's back, but obviously Scrimshaw and maybe Bramble's not a threat, but it's probably Scrimshaw, right? So what do you think?
I've had a look. I've had a skim through it. Honestly, I was so keen for 550 or in Adelaide time, more than usual. It's a lot of. Let's look at the ads. So Scrimshaw out, Bramble out. Bramble could be sub. I'm skipping Weddle. I just got too many. I have Sturt as well. He's out. I don't know. I feel like he's low ceiling. I think he's like not terrible, but
yeah,
he's one I'm like, what are you expecting him to average? Like 50s. They've brought Blank back in, which is, I guess, good for you as a Sicily owner.
Gives me some hope. Yes.
So like Weddle can be
freed up a bit more as well.
If I'm wait, where's CJ on the bench? If I'm Sam Mitchell, I think he's got the correct back line here. Play one of your key defenders. That they were in the 2s. Oh, they got 8.
So it's hard to be playing forward. That's because he has in the past.
Has he? Okay.
He even has this year in a game or two, and has been switched in game. I don't know.
they got Morrison, Amon on the wing. Weddle can rotate there. That's where he played VFL, I think, unless he
Maybe
got
he's
29
been.
touches elsewhere.
Yeah,
I think he's
could be.
okay. If I'm Hawthorn, you're putting games into Weddle, right? They're playing a lot of defenders, so they could get subbed. He could get subbed, and they have the extra toll with Blank, so you could see him potentially subbed.
Yeah,
Um,
could be Seamus again. Hey,
I think
you
it's
don't know.
okay, but if you have enough crap rooks, then I don't know.
Oh mate, I'm gonna own all the bloody Hawks backline. I mean, I guess Dave's playing mid, but yeah. I don't love it, but I guess what's the alternative? And you're going to tell me it's Rory Atkins, and I don't have the money, and I don't like him really either. So
Yeah, I understand that. I think most are pretty sus on Atkins, which is fine, but
and if I'm
at least
sus, I'd rather just get the 130k.
he just needs to play and he'll score, whereas Weddle needs to play and he won't score. Like he's perma bench option, like unfieldable, I think.
What's he going? 50-50? It's not the worst in the world, I guess. But
yeah, it's okay.
Look, I'm not looking to field him. I just need him to play.
He looks like someone who'll get confidence as he gets more games. I thought he did some good things in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I think I think he's the so I think he's the best one for this best rookie on the bubble at the price for this week. I think it's either you go Weddle or you pay up for Atkins.
You got I say nothing here. I don't know if you have for next week besides Drury. So I've just got to leave Drury to
Tom
next
Berry,
week.
but the two other guys are Tess.
Both of them aren't playing, right?
Holman and Ainsworth.
And they're not emergency. So
yeah.
Look, I guess what's his name? Old Big Paul is probably out. But if they're both back, then it's probably him and Berry out.
I liked Berry's game. They can put him midfield. They can play him a bit higher up if they want. I think he had a few inside 50s, maybe. I can't remember. I saw him a little bit up the ground. I'd have to double check the heat map, but I actually quite like him if he can hold. But that's if he holds.
I was literally on his heat map yesterday, and it was still on here stream. So
that's good. Yeah, 123k. No, I don't mind him at all. So do you? You see Gold Coast
Drury
first,
and bet on him.
You see Gold Coast first. You see how he plays. Maybe it's just if he plays well. I think you go Drury early and you plan for Berry.
Okay, and then Doomsday is there's no Berry. What do you have next week?
Yeah. Well, it's part of the game. You need to take punts sometimes. Obviously, perfect world you don't.
Yeah.
But you're just trying to get a rookie to get the player you want. Like if you go Atkins, which you don't want anyway, but say you're considering him, then you wouldn't get the premiums you want. So I think the premium trumps the rookie.
100%.
At this point of the year.
This question before, a guy sort of said one of them's getting Atkins and one of them's getting Drury, and then it's Mills on merit, and I said, mate, what premium do you want first? Decide that, and then you can decide, what you got, because that's the big thing. Yeah, and Merit's someone I'll probably look at next week. I think you will too, won't you?
This week, I think.
Oh, you get him this week instead of not going Mills.
It's probably worth going over Sydney team sheets again quickly. Who'd they bring in?
With Gould in.
Okay.
So Gould came in, and then what's the McCartan thing?
Francis down back.
Yeah, Francis down back.
So McCartan is concussion symptoms. So I assume that's from a few weeks ago. So that's my worry is what if this lingers for a while and they put Mills back? I do think that they'll actually use their brain for once and keep Mills in the midfield though, because they've got ready replacements there. When they recruited Aaron Francis, they said he can fill either end for us, but we see him more down back. That's what they said.
And then he came in and played forward.
Yeah. And then again, team sheets are, I don't know if he'll be back or forward. I mean, who they got? They got Logan, Franklin, Haywood can take a grab high. So he can kind of play tallish, but he's a small. Heaney can play tallish. I think he's playing down back.
Yeah.
McLean as well. He's playing down back.
I don't know. I'm still happy with Mills, I think.
I think I'll do it in Dream Team. I think I'm going to go Zach Merritt. No, Parrish. Zach Merritt is. I like that.
It is juicy.
And I think it's one of those things where
Both
Mills
are
has got such a nice matchup this week, and I've got this feeling he's going to go off this week. I've had it all week.
have enough for Zach instead of Callum, unless. Who did I trade out?
You'd have to go Callum over Brayshaw, maybe.
Or I go Drury and bet on Berry. I traded Cowan. Can I trade Davey instead? I have to reverse. I'll reverse. Anything else you saw on the teams that you want to talk about before? While I do this.
Do apologise, my mum and my sister doing their nightly bickering. Not really, I don't think. I thought someone was saying Hollins was getting rested. He's playing. He's been good, so he keeps holding. I didn't really see much. I think Stengel's a week away. That worries me on Simpson a little bit. He's named on the bench. So Close got 1 week.
Yeah.
I think. So Close and Stengel maybe back next week would be less than ideal.
Yeah. That's I don't have enough for Weddle. That's annoying. I'd have to bet on Drury.
You could wait till Berry plays. I thought he was good. I liked his game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have much else to add, I think.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything. It wasn't as bad as people were expecting. So we'll get to more questions, I guess. I'll just leave my team there for now. I can do my trades later. We just did speak about Mills. Big Eagling Jaws. Here we go. Any temptation to put the E on Samson R3 to cover potential? Right? Yeah, there's been some talk about this.
He has a fitness test tomorrow, I think. But I think they've already said they think he's fine.
I'm backing him in. I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think no Soldo. I think you got to field Ryan again.
Yeah, I think you go for it. And what is it, Segler? Like, he can go all right against Segler. I guess Blitzers might rock a bit. Anyway, yeah. I think you risk it, to be honest, and just field Samson, get more points on field. Because like for me, it'd be Samson over Mitchell, which could be 50 points. So I'll take that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Clary and Noah or Clary and Dawson. Wait, wait. Here we go. What's this intel? Finding that Holman said he took the longer term surgery, more option to get Dawson later. Oh, so Took's out for a while, like a longer than.
I did read late season. That was somewhere. I don't know where I read that. I think I was on the Gold Coast website.
Okay.
Oh, also, did they say Ben Long's injury?
I'll see if I can find it here. It just said injured on the thing. Nope.
Might need to get old fish Michael Whiting to do an update.
Yeah, I'll see if it's.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Back soreness.
What does that mean, bro? That could be a week. It could be 2 months. Could be 1. Could be 3 days. I don't know.
Yeah, not sure. Why are you worried? Thinking about that with Atkins.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought Long has been droppable for a few weeks now.
Yeah, that's what I thought anyway. Weird. What else we got? Let's put my team back on. What are your thoughts on Nevitt? I think you're a bit like me. Haven't seen much of him or enough to know what is going on there and what his job security is like. Jai Clark sub debut.
I didn't watch it.
3 weeks.
I didn't really pay enough attention to him. I think JD seems to like him. I think everyone's worried about the 58% TOG. Not paying 160K for 58% TOG. It's a pass for me.
Yeah, I'm not tempted to go him either.
And it was 42% in the second half or something like that. In the 40s, that's just sub risk, I think.
Oh yeah, that's terrible, actually. Who's a better option? There we go. The old trio. I mean, I like Brayshaw the most, and I've said that on the podcast. You've kind of got to go in this week. What you'd really do for a cheap midfielder. I think what JL said, he's got to manage his knee as the year goes on, which is fair enough. But the way he's played the last 2 weeks, it looks like he's on the other side of it. So I like him.
I didn't like that comment about managing the knee.
What does manage mean? Just
Yeah,
not train during the week.
he's got to buy soon as well.
Lighter. Yeah, I'll go him.
I really don't know the answer to this.
There's issues with all.
I think Mills. I like. I'll probably go Mills, Steele, and Brayshaw. My worry with Brayshaw is Freo are garbage.
So
I don't know. Yeah, he had 2 tons in wins last year, and that was a 140 against Melbourne and a 180 against
St Kilda. Or was it us?
Anyway, there's only 2 tons for the year in losses. Sorry, maybe I'm overreading it. I think he looked really good. I mean, on the eye, he looked the best of the 3. Mills was all right. Mills was too busy getting into day costs in the second half, I thought, along with a lot of other Swans players. Yeah, I really don't know the answer to this. For some reason, I'm not the biggest Brayshaw fan. I think the SCG, I don't like him. I watched him at Norwood Oval.
No space.
I don't like the less space. Steele is a weird one. I don't know. We spoke about this enough on the pod, I think.
Yeah,
honestly, I would pick the player you like the most. And I honestly don't know the answer.
It's too hard. There's going to be one that goes off. So we'll see. Want to get tagged by Hewitt. I think, George, you like to see on Dawson, don't you?
Yeah, I think Saints seem to give up possession.
So might be an option. We all keep finding ways to not put it on Bond, and he keeps going big. So
have you put it on him yet? I don't think I've put it on him yet.
No, you got the VC at least.
Yeah.
You? Oh no, you had English.
No, yeah, I had English.
Far out.
It's been Laird, English, and Clary. They've been
got a 132 average guy in my team, and I haven't.
Yeah,
captained him once. Well done. Bring in Stu or Nando. Nando is a break. Who's the Nando?
I don't know.
Mexican Nando's. I feel like I know Mexican.
Does he mean Andy? Nando?
I don't know. Anderson. No.
Oh, yes. No way.
The only Nando I know is bloody F1 driver. The king. I think Stu for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Stu's matters. I like the more proven. Exactly. I honestly don't really have a good read on Anderson.
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea. I like the more proven, but he could be good. He looked great. What's his break even for Setterfield?
I'm having a look. 109. Jeez, you're banking on him playing well. I'd still turf him, honestly.
I think there's too much money to lose there. It's an interesting one. You could hold him to like the buy now if Parrish is out for a while.
He could be lower than his starting price by the buy.
I think it's a play. Yeah, that's true. He just looked terrible. I think.
Is Parrish multi-weeks? Do we know? Or we just have no
calf
idea?
Tightness and getting scans.
Okay, so that'd appear late in the week. That could be too. God, I don't know how to answer questions of people who already own him. Was their appeal of the appeal successful, or is that still going on and they've just named him? I have no idea.
Might be news in the Discord. There's nothing here, so I assume nothing's happened. I'm trading him anyway. I think he's a trade, even if he plays.
Yeah. Look, George going Atkins. If you've got the cash and you can still upgrade next week, maybe you do, because Weddle's job security is still pretty average. But if he's playing a bit of wing, it'd be nice, because then that means he's a better chance to stay in the team, right? So can't really trust Hawthorn too much. Nash is named here, like maybe he is a bit more wing, but you got Morrison there as well, don't you? So I don't know their team with Hardwick also here.
Look, Weddle could play every game. He could be sub in 2 weeks. I'm
And
not
gone.
too sure. But if I'm Sam Mitchell, I'm playing Weddle. I think he's their highest. Was he the highest
True.
pick? Second
Yeah,
highest
yeah.
pick. Second
Yeah.
to. I think he's a reasonable chance to keep playing. I thought he was okay,
Yeah. C-Mac and then him, was it?
and he's probably played a more defensive role.
Yeah. Here we go. Bob's going big. Straight in on Noah. Good luck.
I think it's fine. It's good. It's good buy as well.
I don't want to keep talking about these rookies, but I mean, I'm probably going Weddle myself. Nevitt, we don't really know much on. I think is JD going him, or we don't know.
Not sure.
And then George's probably going Atkins.
If Atkins has dropped, I'm not sure I'll turn up here next week.
Like the next week, yeah, far out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't jump on this, but yeah, I'd probably just leave it alone.
Liam Baker for 20 touches if he's playing halfback. You got to wait till Short's lining up in the square or not.
Well, this would be George if anyone, not me. But you got any Gold Coast anyone on the ground up there, or do you know anyone? He's playing.
I have a second cousin that lives there, but I don't think they like football. It's weird. He has a river in his backyard and he goes fishing. That's pretty cool.
Walks out the back. Far
yeah,
out. That'd be nice. Yeah. Look, he's playing this week as far as I know, and then it's all about during the buys how long does he stay in. So we're setting up trades this week to get DC first up. I think I'm more leaning towards waiting on Gorn because I think you said this on the pod. I wouldn't love going DC straight up off a 8-week knee. Like,
his break even's 50.
I know.
It's a tough one. I think DC will be fine.
I think Gorn either at worst probably matches him. I know the ruck split might not be.
I'm not okay if you can't grab a premium, a lot of people won't be able to grab one. And he's sub 500. I'm actually okay with it. I
get that.
Again, it does worry you a bit. You just want to see how he goes. A bit like English last year when he came back. They said he dropped 10 kilos, comes back, drops 150 or whatever. I was like, okay, maybe we should. I don't know.
I think he's a fine trading this week. Absolutely, no power. Brisbane aren't the hardest team to play on. Yeah, I might find a way.
I think I'll get him.
I might find a way to do it this week with you.
No Parish in this fixture. Oh boy,
I know. Like next week for me was a lock anyway. It's just I might do it this week, but then my decision is who do I forego, Mills or Brayshaw, and I got to make that call.
I don't know if I'm overhyping Merritt though, but I just feel like he's just safe as houses.
He's safe, yeah, for sure. I think George Reid on Brayshaw. Yeah, I know. Look, if I was to get him and I go ahead with it, I'm fully prepared for what he's like to own. I do know this. So yeah,
his ratio's been especially bad this year, but I don't know if that's because of the injury.
Contested a bit low, isn't it? Still for whatever reason, I just don't want to get. So
yeah,
I mean, my alternative is getting like Zeeble instead of just doing that.
Isn't he 550?
He's 540, like the same as Brayshaw. So why, like, I could and just I know you always say it. There's nothing worse than a negative pod.
Yeah.
But then I've got extra defenders, and I'd have to flip like a day, which I can do still. And it's also bringing someone in extra in that buy. So anyway, that's just one for me. But yeah, I do get your point on Brayshaw. Yeah, we got it eventually, boys. We figured it out. The old Nando.
I'm a bit slow on that one.
I've never heard that, so now we do. Mo Salah has 4 words for us, Jaws. I'm not going to say them.
Behave, Mo.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't bring in Simpson now. What is he? 216 there? Definitely not. I'll leave my team up there. Okay, so we don't know yet. That's obviously why they just had to name him. Gordon or Petrarca? I mean, if you don't own Errol, I know he just went 150, but I'm not super turned on by what he's playing. The role he's playing at the minute. I mean, he just got 20 kicks on the wing last week because the Pies were happy to leave him out there, and he was just kicking it inside 50. Like, I don't know if that's going to happen every week, and especially at home on their smaller ground. So, yeah, I mean, his mid-time's completely gone at the minute. So I wouldn't be bringing him in, I don't think. Is that what you would say as well?
I don't know. Didn't watch that game. Sounds like they fed him the ball.
They definitely did. He just sat out wide and got a heap of it. And look, that can continue. He's not someone that's relied on heavy CBAs, but like one
I think what did Gordon do? He did like 85 last year with no CBAs.
yeah, like 10%. So look, is that someone you bring in though and target? I don't know, but it's completely gone last 3 weeks.
I honestly don't know. I'd probably let it go. How much is he? He's $4.90, I think.
Yep, on the dot.
I think you could. I'd probably. I don't think
DC next week though is there same price.
I can't read that. Is Petrarca 630 or 620?
It's 620 or something.
I don't think that's a good idea to pay that much for Petrarca.
No.
You missed some big ones. I think he's due for a down one. I was looking at Oliver on the screen. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. It is small. I don't have him, mate. If the Lakers choke, I'll be livid. Look, I won't be. I'll be quite happy. I just want that game to go to 7 and then the Nuggets to win tomorrow. Just get a bit of rest. I mean, we're the younger team, so take that as an advantage. You're on the Nuggets, aren't you? On the better.
Yeah, because I got on late. I couldn't get on Celtics
could be the blessing,
or anyone else.
Could be the blessing.
Maybe.
We're the favourites. We're the outright favourites now.
Oh, nice.
So, but that means absolutely nothing. But
I hope they win because they haven't had a full team for ages, eh?
A couple of years, and then we got to the Western Conference Finals in the bubble last time we were healthy. And look, not just for me. I like Denver, the city. They haven't won shit in ages. Like they in a like they did just last year when the ice hockey, but before that it was like the Broncos last time they'd won anything, and then the Nuggets. Well, they've never won anything as a franchise ever. So anyway, we'll move on from that.
Have you ever made the play? Ever made a final or the finals?
I think they have years and years and years ago, but not nothing since. In fact, I don't even think they have.
I know there's like 8 teams that haven't. I saw on TikTok.
They had one good run in the 90s. They definitely haven't post then, but maybe way back. I mean, Joker's already the leading Nuggets playoff scorer already, and he's been around he's been around a while, but the history isn't much. But the playoff times is good. I love it, George. It's so good, and I hate it when it's over, but we're in the thick of it. All right, a few more questions, and we'll jump off. Kind of sucks there's no footy on Thursday, doesn't it? It's just like what do we got? A few VCs. Who are you doing, Clary? I mean, if you got Gorn,
I don't even know, bro. I got to decide.
I mean, I've got Clary, but they got.
I don't think Reeves is the best matchup. I'd probably skip
okay. He doesn't have Oliver though.
I think I'm going Oliver into Dawson or a Dogs boy into Dawson.
Yeah, you don't mind.
I think if you got Anderson, you VC him against West Coast if you want.
Yep.
And
for sure.
I think Bont will be fine. They sent Hewitt to. I don't know if it was a tag, but Hewitt was like on Neil for sure.
Bont's so much harder to match up on, man, than someone like a Neil. Just because of what he can do. Oh boy, Sturt. What's up with Sturt? He won't.
He's emergency,
sub, isn't he? So he's not going to be sub, is he? He's just like that one man out because of Freddie.
He's chipping away 24 touches in the waffle. It's just annoying because now Frere's fixtures a little bit harder. They had that give me against Hawthorn.
And he didn't play, yeah.
I mean, he was always kind of fringe anyway, but it's just, that's rookies, man. You got to hope a little bit. I'm not like there's no gimmies apart from maybe Jury. There's no gimmies out there.
This is my mate. Shut it down, you idiot. I don't know. I never really liked back when we were in the when North beat us in the elimination final, like 2014 or whatever it was, 15. I just hated North back then. I don't know why, but Nugs and 6, I agree with. All right, a couple more. Big eagling again, George. Here we go. Big dot.
Hope you're well eagling.
Doc's named on ball again, hey. So I
The
don't
role
know.
was
Everyone's got
way
bad blood with
better.
him, so if they want to go back there. But yeah, he's interesting because he's on the cheaper side.
It's a new role, isn't it? It's so apparently I switched off in the fourth quarter.
He
Apparently
went back to
played back
defense. Yeah.
509.
Yeah.
You're named on bowl. I liked him on bowl. Who's CB? They killed. So is Cher and Walsh are like rotating with each other? I think.
I think even early Doc was playing that half forward push
Yeah,
up to stoppage role.
he started that way. I think.
Kennedy's in off the sub and Kerno's out. I don't know. I don't know their team because they've got so many guys in this position. Like Chera is their best mid at the moment. He has to play. Obviously, Cripps, Hewitt can't really play anywhere else. There's only really like one
They
other
dropped
mid
Kemp.
spot.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that's stiff, hey, for him to get dropped. But does that mean Kennedy is actually playing defense? I don't know. Or is
What's
Doc
Cottrell?
playing more
He's
defense?
winger.
Yeah, he's
Maybe
like
honest. I think everything going right. Can you do 110? I think he can do 100 plus. I don't know about 110 this year. I think midfield's good for him though. He scores better midfield. I think
yeah.
his ratio was poor last week. His ratio's been a bit poor this year.
Look, I didn't
I
pick
would
up on it.
wait. I just want to see another week and just understand the role.
Yeah.
Now that they've brought Kennedy in, just sort of see what's going on there.
Look, you can't really go Will Gould, but he is on the bubble.
Oh, he's on the bubble. Probably, yeah.
You'd have to get confirmation that Tom McCartan's absolutely stuffed as well and out for a bit.
Because he's strictly depth, really.
Pretty much. Like he can go anytime.
He's breaking even 6, so if we get
You could
confirmation
get
of long-term injury, you
yeah.
could pay like 140 for him next week.
Yeah. I
Maybe.
wouldn't go him this week. Shrek's got Sydney. I guess that's a good matchup. SCG. Yeah, I'd go that.
Small ground, more stoppages, good for Shrek.
Any round 14 buy mids that aren't 580k plus. That isn't merit. Because who's around 14 buy again? It's like Bombers, Hawthorn.
Oh, you need a Zach Merritt in your midfield. Don't have only got Clary.
Yeah.
Oh, but you got the defenders out.
We'll answer this, George, and we'll answer a couple more, then we'll go. I'll have a look. What's the bloody buy teams again? I know it's Essendon. Round 14. That's like the D's Pies, who don't really have anyone. West Coast Hawthorn and the Crom. There ain't much, really, just off the top of my head, as mids that aren't. Like, no.
It's clearly Zach Merritt, but there's not enough coin there.
Yeah. There's no one, mate. It's got to be Merritt, and the others we sort of already own.
All the cheap ones have the first buy.
Yep.
The Mill, Steel, Bray.
Yep.
So the answer, no.
Danger. Well, if that's
Trade.
Dangerfield, get the hell out. He's the hammy. At his
Every
age,
chance that they just buy.
Conservative. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Hopper. Like, tradable is obviously very vague. Yes, he's tradable if you're making an upgrade, but I think you got to, like, for me next week, he's probably got to go to make an upgrade. So I think I just see how he goes this week. I mean, he's very prone. He can drop a 60 or a 70. He's done it a few times this year. But the role is good. So I don't know.
I'm in the camp to keep him for as long as you can. He might have a down one, but through the next few rounds, he'll probably have a few good ones too.
Are you upgrading next week?
I'm not sure. I would like to hold to the last buy. Yep. But then I'm thinking, well, Jury and Chincotta probably go on the last buy, and probably some other bullshit happens then. So I'm not too sure. I might even, like, you can get rid of him, like, not necessarily on his last buy, but like a few weeks into the buy round, because he'll like play the first 2 buys or something, and you start getting like preparing for the last buy. So, I mean, I don't know, just do your A versus B. Like, what rookie are you keeping on field?
Yep.
Because if you wait a week and you do like a double downgrade or one downgrade and then one down the next week. Because if you can't keep upgrading, then you're going to be stuck with a crap rookie on field rather than Hopper on field, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you can't get anyone else up in the medium term, then I guess it's okay.
Yeah, that might be what I'm looking at. Should I go
like getting him to Stewart? I think is fine if you don't have Stewart because he's got that really easy buy to cover.
Good point. I'll look at that what I can do next week. Drew, look, I'm going Weddle, but like George said, if you missed it before, we can see how Berry goes tomorrow night before we make any decisions. And if he goes quite well, maybe you're confident that he plays next week, and then you can go Drury. Otherwise, if he maybe stinks it up, or obviously it'll still be a guessing game in that sense, but at least you'll get to see his second game before you have to lock anything in.
Yeah, make sure you got Constable locked where you need him to be locked.
That too, and then obviously Simpson and Samson, the old Samson, and all that. All right, a few more. Yeah, I was pretty sure, Trav. I didn't know in the history, but I know definitely in the last 30 years they haven't, and then there you go, they never have. So it'd be big for the Nugs. Should I hold Ashcroft or go straight to Merritt or Kelly with one trade? Get it done, my friend. Get it done.
I like Ashcroft holding. I think he's 90 average at Gabba. He's got the next two there, but I think he's not a premium. So if you can get him up to a premium, I think I'll take that off.
Yeah, it's. I've got him in 2 weeks ago, old Walsh, and watching him, he's at every stoppage, and he's not obviously the Cripps and Hewitt, first, hit twos and all that inside the stoppage, but he's around them, so that's why his forward time's nice. It's like his starting position. Don't know exactly how it works, but I know it's not just the center bounce; it's around the ground as well, and he's sort of just counts as that forward because he's the extra midfielder, right? He's not one of the starting ones. So, he has 3 games left to hold DPP, and he's at like 40%. So I do like Sammy. He's hopefully going to go well and stay out of price range for other people. But, he had like 8 tackles as well. Like, look, his ball use has not been great. It's never been amazing, but it feels like ages ago, George, when he was just dominating. The year Cripps was out for a bit, like he was just killing it every week. It feels like I've sort of forgotten about how good he is, but obviously they just do have a lot of mids now.
He's had injuries too.
He has
limited preseason.
What else have we got? I got what? Yeah, look, it is. And that's, to be fair, he's not alone. A lot of Carlton have been. I don't know what's going on down there, but he's definitely one of the leading culprits in that sense. But that's why he probably needs to play more inside. But they've got guys that kind of strictly can only play inside. So the balance is a bit wrong. It's a bit feels like the Dogs of the last few years, just with the balance of all the mids. De Goey, we're not.
No,
he's playing well. Don't get me wrong, but there's just problems with him that can always arise.
He said what to do with it. I think, did he have him?
Deal with it and just hold. Go to Clary. Look, if you've
got
him, I
don't think he's
I don't think he's he's playing, right? So there's no. Yeah.
No, hold.
What George said. Buy flip.
Upgrade at the buy. Yeah.
It's problematic having all of these. Can afford Merritt won't have the funds to get DC if you get Merritt instead.
Nah, I think it's all right.
I think it's
go more
fine,
than
but I'd also
first buy.
I'd also say get Merritt for sure. Like, try and get Merritt. Then you can't get DC if that's your plan.
Merritt's break-even's 130. I know the fixture's nice, but you're probably not going to pay that much more for him. You might have a bad one somewhere as well. Like, you don't know. Could get tagged, but I think the fixture, no Parish, could be.
I'd go Merritt, try and find a way to go him over one of them, and then.
But if you can't get DC, I'd probably just skip Merritt so you can get the extra premium next week.
Yeah. I'd
Well,
really
I
want
guess
Merritt over this next bit.
maybe
I
if
mean,
there's one he. Sorry, go
he's
on.
gambling on prices, right? Like obviously DC you would expect will go up, but who's he trading out? Maybe they hold price a bit better. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I'd really want Merritt George. That's all I'd say. I really do like the look of him. I think Parrish might be at a couple, but it's all guessing. It's all guessing. All right, we'll do the trades, George. Yep, and we'll finish up there. So, JD did raise it to me after the podcast that I could trade Hoppo to afford, who I want more, and because like Warple and Ash, like whoever I don't trade are probably going next week to make an upgrade. So, like it could be Hopper out to do that, but I think I'll just stick with doing these two because maybe I don't upgrade next week and Hopper stays to the end. So look, the question is here: how badly do I want someone like a Merritt this week instead of next week? Oh, I'm thinking about it because no Parrish this week. Brisbane aren't the hardest matchup in the world. And then maybe I'll do Brayshaw, and then I can wait a week on Mills. Good matchup this week, though, would be nice. But with this, then I have to go Drury, and I have to bet on a Berry. So I don't think I can really tell you what my trades are and lock them in until...
are you set on Andy?
No, he could be Mills here too. But I do like him the most. And then I can still get Mills next week, right? He's not going to be completely out of reach from Hopper. Could almost be just one trade, I think. Probably not, actually. Probably have to downgrade a Davey or something. But, yeah. And then I have to get Drury here, right? So,
Drury. You can loop Simpson as well.
Yeah. But I'm not set on this. I'll do what you said pretty much. See how Berry goes. And then if he goes all right, I can be confident to stick with this. If not, and I'm not confident, then I'll go back to probably getting Mills over Merritt and Weddle. And then have to wait and get Drew next week and do it that way. So that's how
just
my
quickly,
team looks. Yeah.
I think Sicily, I think he'll bounce back. I think they're realizing he's a bit frustrated. They're bringing a key defender now. I think he'll be playing a more friendly role going forward.
They seems like they've recognised that with the team lineup. So blank back.
They'll give me. I think he'll be rebounding a bit more and less of Hardwick. I just got feel, and maybe they saw the Freako tweet. I don't know. the Hardwick and Sicily rebounds.
Yeah, hopefully
they got to let your captain play his best position. Like
he's definitely best third tall. Yeah, 100%.
Give him this responsibility more, rebounding.
He looks so frustrated on the talls and just getting beaten. Leave that to someone like a Blank, just someone like that. Frost, let them do that. So yeah, I'm not totally locked in. So it could be Merritt back to Mills to not go Drury early and get a Weddle. And I could get Zeeble or something still like this. Just so I don't have to sit through his bullshit.
Something will go wrong if you go Zeeble, and
I was considering it. Like I said it early, way down. I'm like, if he looks like he's going to be a keeper, I'll get him in for 450, 500. And then he got that, whatever it was. I missed the game 2 weeks ago, but this foot issue, and I was like, well, I can't trade someone in with knowing that he's got bloody plantar fascia and dealing with it. So do I just continue to death ride? Probably. And just go the midfielder. And then that's the problem. I've got extra mids here. And I guess you can count them as a forward, whatever. But I've also got Walsh who might get DPP. So I don't know.
Who do you think averages more out of Brayshaw and Zeeble?
Brayshaw and Zeeble? Well, if he does what he did last week every week, the bastard, then it's clearly him.
I don't know. I think Zeeble maybe... Because he was like... He
He's
was
a joke, man.
120. He was
He's a
120,
joke.
no more.
I'm so happy I wasn't watching that game last week. What the hell? My God. We'll get off my team and go to yours.
Okay, so look, I was pretty set on Mills, and then this Tom McCartan's news came out. So I've only changed this recently.
To go Merritt. Yeah.
Yeah, Atkins to Ashcroft. I mean, the number one pick. Oh, what was he? He was number one, was he? Was he?
To
Can't
Atkins.
remember.
Oh, no, he wasn't technically. He was Cadman, but
He should have been. Yeah,
the
that's
best
right,
player
yeah.
in the country. Whatever. We can go
so
with that.
the number one prospect for a guy on a 5-year deal that's played 8 games in 3 years. Doesn't feel very nice. And then, JVR's always out. So I make 40K profit on that, and I had money from getting rid of Setterfield. I'll grab Merritt this week. And then I like Mills, and he's still my preferred, I think, of him and Brayshaw.
To go. Well, next week, Brayshaw's 550s, 560s. So
I'll probably skip Brayshaw. I don't mind him, though. I think he's good. Like, for that price, that's a very good price for him.
100
I don't know.
is 550. It's still gettable.
Yeah, I could consider it. So that's how we'll line up this week. So I'll go Merritt, and I was really wanted Mills, but
I don't mind getting one more week, having a look at this
just
McCartan news.
only because, and that's the thing with Mills. Like, this could have happened at any point in time. I do think, looking at team sheets, they can't possibly play McLean, Buddy, and Logan. Plus Heaney plays taller. They can't play Francis forward, so he'll be down back with Fox. I could see Mills helping out down back. Just 116 break even. I'll just let it sit for a week. Yeah, and then Merritt, 130 break even. You never like to get someone in with a 130 break even, because he could easily go like 95 and drop, I don't know, 15K. But last 3 against Brisbane in 130. No Parrish. Yeah. The cake run. He's got, what's it, West Coast, North, or whatever it is. I don't know, 3 gimmies.
Us, North, West Coast, and then they've got North, West Coast again later on. So yeah,
and he's got Freo as well in the next 5. So I'll go. I've been wanting Merritt all year. Look, if he gets cheaper for other people, so be it. But I feel comfortable with him, and I've owned him every year except for last year. So get him back, and you can see, like, with Parrish, there's no soft tissue with Merritt. So
I assume you would do this tomorrow, probably, with the final teams. Get that or not? Maybe not.
Yeah, I'll do my final trades, even though those are my final trades. But I just do those videos anyway. But if you're watching this, there's probably not much point of watching it. But I'll do another one.
Oh, it was tomorrow's the Sunday teams anyway, so wait for those. You can go over there.
Yeah, I could do it tomorrow.
Anything else? Not really. Cool. All right, we'll jump off. Thanks for watching. I know George always tweets his trades, but I can't do it sometimes. I'm still thinking. I'm a late thinker, and
you can do it Saturday morning or something.
Yeah, and especially with this Berry thing, I do want Merritt though this week. I do like doing that now ahead, and then it just comes down to how much do I want Andy, because I kind of think you'd want to get him this week at 5:30, and then if not, I'll probably go Mills. So got to decide that. And because of my cash situation, it's a bit tight on doing it with Weddle. So yeah, I don't know. Weddle does still scare me, and
I think you're also a bit better position than mine. You got Ryan there and a bit of cash on the head of Cowan and Davey. Are you getting rid of them? I've got a Sturt with nothing.
Oh, MJ's not back either. Hey, he might have lost his spot with that suspension.
Rasmus was okay.
Rasmus
I think he'll play. I think Johnson will play
at some point.
I dare say he might be sub though, but I think he'll play.
Okay, beautiful. All right, thanks for joining me, George. Give me someone to talk to. We'll see you on the podcast. See you later.